I was no better than you fucking singing earlier. Shut up. Hello everyone and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me tonight I have our poser extraordinaire, Nitai.
Time to celebrate depressed people.
And our chivalry of Shota Shotaro.
Umaru is goat.
She's something, alright.
She's a goat?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Tonight we've come to the end of yet another year. 2017 is almost over. In fact, we're recording this on the 29th, so there's only 2 more days left to go in the year. So we thought we'd get together and do our annual year-end review. So before we actually get started handing out our yearly awards, I want to take a quick moment to look back at 2017. And I want to start by asking the 2 people I have with me, of the 4 seasons we had in 2017, which was your favorite?
Go ahead,
I'm not
cousin.
prepared for this question. You didn't write
Okay.
this down on the Google Doc. Okay.
Easy
Why
for
don't you start it off, Mr. Host?
All right, I will start it off. Of the 4, I have to say that my favorite season was probably either winter or summer. And I'll tell you why. Winter had probably the biggest proportion of shows that I both watched and finished. And then summer had Awari Monogatari Season 2, which was just absolutely phenomenal. And if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you know one thing that I love the Monogatari series. So any season that has Monogatari in it is going to be great. Those are my 2. Nitai?
Sure, I'll give a shout out to Winter 2017. Mainly because of, I think it's mainly because Konosuba, actually. Just
And
for the
Rakugo.
reason of, that weekly experience of, oh yeah, great, another episode of Konosuba to make me happy. So that sort of memory is something that'll stick with me for a bit, because that show meant a lot to me while there, so that's cool.
Yeah. And you had Rakugo in winter.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
Rakugo, but that's for different reasons. I think it's mainly of Winter because of that weekly experience of getting to a new episode of Konosuba and getting a good laugh out of it, and then waiting for the next week.
Yeah. What about you, Show?
I'll have to answer with the same thing, Winter 2017. Also because of Blue Exorcist, which we haven't had, anything for in, 4 years or something. I don't know the exact number. A number of years. And I was really happy to see it, even though it was, average. It's still, good old Rin with his cute cat. How can you deny the excitement? But yeah, those no, not Konosuba, sorry. My bad. I meant to say Rakugo, Scum's Wish, Iron-Blooded Orphans too. And most importantly, that was the season that Ordinal Scale aired.
Oh my god.
I'm joking. Okay, the last one was a troll. But the other ones, come on, there's so many amazing shows aired in that one season.
It was a strong
kind
season.
of crazy. It was great, and especially the rest of the seasons. It was maybe 1 or 2 good ones in my opinion, but winter was jam-packed and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had the highest, as I said before, highest proportion of shows that I both started and finished. I mean, you had Konosuba, you had Rakugo, you had Scum's Wish, you had Yojo Senki, you had... what
Yojo...
else?
That was a disappointment.
Well, the ending was a little disappointing, but the beginning was pretty good. I mean, you just had an Anoma, you had Dragon Maid, which I never watched, but apparently everybody loved.
It was decent, for sure.
But anyway, yeah. All right, well then there's only one other question I have before we get into our awards, and that is for each of us to name our biggest surprise and or disappointment throughout the year. And I'll go ahead and start. I have one surprise and one disappointment. My biggest surprise has been from actually this fall season, and that's Blend S. I never thought going into it. I thought it was just going to be a really cute moe show, which it is sometimes. but I never thought it would make me laugh as much as it has. I never thought it would make me actually care about the characters in the show. And I never thought I would actually end up enjoying it as much as I have. Either one of you actually watching or watched Blindes?
I don't watch trash.
Well, your taste notwithstanding, show. Anyway, all right. Well, then I'll just move on. My biggest disappointment throughout the year, I think I would have to say that my biggest disappointment was the spring season in general.
Wow.
Because it was just so devoid of anything, a lot of watchable things.
So there was nothing. There was nothing in the spring.
I mean, okay, I'll put it out there. Even if you actually liked MHA and Attack on Titan, that's 2 shows out of 50 or so that aired throughout the season.
Was pretty good in that season. I would.
No, that was not.
I'm just saying, like, those were the 2 big shows that premiered and aired during that season. And I'm saying, even if you liked and watched all of that, it's still just 2 shows. 2 out of 50 is not a good proportion. Anyway, that was my biggest disappointment. So what about you guys, Natai?
Sure. I think my biggest surprise was actually from the spring season. It's a little show called Tsukigakure, which was surprisingly well done. Like, CG crowds, not a good idea, but it was a very heartfelt story, very, very adorable romance. I really enjoyed it. It also broke a lot of, like, you could say, genre conventions, which I always appreciate. It was a good time. I really enjoyed that. But most disappointing show, I almost forgot about it until you just mentioned, like, disappointed. Then I looked up shows I watched this year, and I haven't finished it yet, but Sakurada Reset, man, was probably one of the most frustrating viewing experiences of my life. It's probably up there with Future Diaries, but
oh my god,
that show is a train wreck. I mean, my god, I don't know why I want to finish it, but I know it's gonna happen. So yeah, we'll see what comes next after an episode full of just meandering and doing absolutely nothing.
Can I ask you, would you be as disappointed in that show had it not been done by David Productions?
Probably not. I would probably think, this is just mediocre. Because I had expectations of it. Because, you see David Productions, like, oh, cool. I love these guys. They do some dope shit. Not this time.
I feel like this. I feel the same. Like if that show had been animated by any other studio, I don't think people would have been nearly as disappointed by it. Mm-hmm. Especially coming off like the enormous success that JoJo's Part 4 was for them.
Coming up from one of my favorite shows of all time. Good job, David Production.
Yeah. Still, it's David Production. It looked good.
No, it didn't even that. It was muted.
The first episode looked pretty good. Everything else was kind of shit.
Let's move on from this shit show.
Okay. All right. Show, what was your biggest surprise and or disappointment?
Well, my biggest surprise, I don't know if this counts because it's not finished yet, but it started, is Black Clover.
Oh, God. You absolutely disappoint me. You disappoint me so much.
Looking at the preview, it was so cringy and bad and stupid and bland.
Because it is. It is. It is all of those things.
Okay, let me finish. Okay. And generic and boring and sad and disappointing. But when I watched it, Alex, you're right. It was indeed all those things. But for some reason, it's just so like... It's so nostalgic to the days when I was a stupid person and would watch anime and not think about it. And I'm like, bring back my youth. Remember?
Wait, those are the old days?
Shut up.
You said your youth was filled with and that shit?
He's not that annoying, okay? He's
yeah, he is.
Okay, he is, but in a cute way. It's in a cute way. Anyways, I find it so bad it's good. I actually found it very entertaining, honestly, for some reason. Listen, let me have my simple joys.
Very simple.
And my biggest disappointment is obviously Kado.
Oh God.
Because we all know the ending was shit. It made no sense. Like literally made no sense. And it had a really good premise and a really good Yeah, that's all. Really good premise.
The
That's
first
all.
8 episodes were strong as fuck.
They were very strong. Yes, I was very. I was very surprised, and then I got disappointed. So
I really think, and
Wah, wah.
we'll probably get into this later because I actually awarded Kato something, that if that show had had maybe 2 more episodes, it probably would have had a better ending because the ending was a bit rushed. I think if they had had a couple more episodes to flesh out the story, then the ending wouldn't have felt as bad as it was.
I guess if it had been if it had been greenlit for a second season and left off on a cliffhanger and then continued, it would also have been interesting because they could have gone so far with that. Like they had so much content to go through. That's a very interesting premise,
especially the way that episode 8 ended. Like if it had ended there and said, to be continued next season, that actually would have been really cool, I think.
Yeah.
And if it had another 8 episodes, I think it would have been fantastic.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into our awards giving out thingy majigger. And that was a great segue. We're going to start things off with best soundtrack. I'll go ahead and go first. I'm giving my best soundtrack to March Comes In Like a Lion. Specifically the first season because the second season isn't over yet.
Should we preface this by saying that shows that ended in 2017 are eligible for the awards?
Yeah, anything that ended in 2017. It could have started in 2016, but as long as it ended in 2017, we're still counting it for our awards.
Yeah.
Like March Comes In Like a Lion. For me, the soundtrack of March is it's really it complements what's going on screen so well that it makes the scenes much more emotional, at least for me. And I think that's one thing that the overall soundtrack of March Comes In Like a Lion does really well is the emotional impact of it. It makes you feel the sadness that the characters feel. It makes you feel the happiness that they feel. It complements what's going on screen so well, and that's why I'm giving it best soundtrack.
Nice.
Natai, what do you got for best soundtrack?
Right. So at first, I wanted to give the award to March Comes In Like a Lion as well because I think that show manages to balance having like both a melancholic tone and a more cheerful tone very, very well. It's like an absolute expert in doing that. But there are so many great soundtracks this year with MAJ and Attack on Titan, and there's real plethora of choices to go to. But I would give the award to A Silent Voice because I think the film manages to hit so many emotional beats that were so much strengthened with the soundtrack. And also it sort of plays into the theme of the movie. I mean, one of the main characters is a deaf person. So it's interesting that what they did for the soundtrack, they actually put a microphone into a piano, and it gave the whole movie this sort of, I guess you could say, deafened-esque sound or something like that. And it was super powerful, and yeah, some of the things that are still with me even so many months later after I watched it. So yeah, Silent Voice for me.
Okay. Show?
I have given this award to Scum's Wish. The soundtrack in that was completely just mind-blowing. It made the show. Also, it was always blaring 24/7, which I like. I like overpowering soundtracks. I don't like subtle in the distance, you can barely hear it. No, blasted in my face, which is exactly exactly what Scum's Wish did, and it added so much to the tension, so much to the drama. It is not the same show at all without the soundtrack. I read the manga, obviously without the soundtrack, and it was shit, in my humble opinion. For multiple reasons, but obviously also because it did not have this amazing soundtrack. And there are so many tracks.
Well, this might shock you, but there's no manga out there that has a soundtrack.
No, there are some, the webcomics that are listen to this while you read.
Yeah, there are those. Those are
quite that's why, bitch, step back with your fucking
listen
back
to Linkin Park's Crawling while reading our manga.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, man. Crushed.
Could you imagine?
Reading some sections comes with crawling in my skin.
Could you imagine Araki doing that with JoJo's?
Yes, please.
It's fucking stand up here. Listen to this song now.
Anyway.
And before he introduces Never Gonna Give You Up in part 8.
God.
I'm cringing. You can't see it, but I'm cringing.
Anyway.
But yeah.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying about Scum's Wishes soundtrack. It was very impactful in the moments that it needed to be, for sure.
Yeah, one of the tracks, I don't know the name, where it's like just a slow piano, key by key, like you're going higher and higher, and it's just like, it's so fucking creepy and climactic, and it's like, you're just watching the people suffer on screen as the piano slowly gets higher and higher, and you're like, why? What is happening? Yeah, I definitely got into the soundtrack. Okay, I'm done.
Well, to be fair, you're watching people suffer either way, whether there's music or not.
Suffer for me. Okay.
All right, we'll move on to our next award, and that is for Best OP. I have given this award to Zenryoku Summer by Angela, and that was the OP for Aho Girl. Now, shut up, show. Let me finish before you tear into this. I love it. First of all, I love the song just because it's Angela, and Angela's fantastic. But I also want the thing I love probably more about this OP is that the visuals themselves changed in every single episode, and all the visuals were based on just gags with playing off how stupid the main character is in the show. I thought that was a really nice touch to come back to every week, especially since this was an OP for a short, where a lot of shorts don't even have OPs, or if they do, they're very, very short and very, very simple. I thought this was a really nice change for something that it really didn't need it to make the show any better, but because it has it, it makes the show just that much better, in my opinion. So
you just like bananas.
I do like, well, actually, fun fact about me, I actually don't like bananas that much.
Oh my god. I wasn't talking about the fruit.
That kind of banana I like a lot.
Good to know.
Anyway, moving on.
We're off to a good start.
What was your best OP of the year?
All right. Yeah, we had a lot of great OPs this year. Dragon Maid. Fuck, I'm blanking. Good job. It's that banana.
Banana.
Anyway, well, a lot of great OPs this year. We had Rakugo Shinju had a solid OP, Konosuba 2, we had the Gundam Iron Blood Orphans had some really good openings. I checked that out. Kakigurui. It was a strong year for openings in general, but I think two openings in particular stood out for me, and I still listen to them and watch them almost on a daily basis. I know it's unhealthy, but stay with me. And I feel like the strongest this year were both Attack on Titan's opening and MAJ Season 2's, specifically Sora ni Utaiba, the second opening. Now, I think both of them are so strong is because both the direction is really impressive and it's so good. And aside from that, the songs are like great as well to like back up the visuals. But if I had to choose between them, and I honestly keep going back and forth between both of them because both of them are so good, I think my OP of the year would be Sora ni Utaiba, because aside from the visuals looking great and like working together with the lyrics of the song itself by Amazarashi is so good. Like I listen to that all the time. So yeah, Sora ni Utaiba is my pick for OP of the year.
I love that song as well. And the visuals are amazing. Well, the Sakuga at the end is amazing.
Sora ni Utaiba.
Anyway, Show, what do you have for best OP of the year?
Tell me, my hero, where you're going. What do I need to end my war? Hit me on the ground. Hit me on the ground. Hit me on the ground. Hit me on the ground.
Hit me so I don't have to hear this anymore.
I'm done.
Okay. Do you want to explain like what the name of that song is, who does it, and what it's from?
If you don't know the name of the song, then you don't deserve to know. Okay.
It's good to know. It's good to know.
It's my hero from Inuyashiki.
Thank you.
God, Nitai.
Someone is actually paying attention.
Think of the listeners, you know.
Yes. That's really all you have to say about it? You just wanted to sing? You wanted to do some karaoke tonight?
Anytime, man with a mission, give me that karaoke track.
Okay, then. I'll move on. I really was expecting you to say something about it, but I guess not. All right, we'll move on then. So next award is for Best ED. I am giving this to a track called Los 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 by Aoyuki. And that is the ED for most of the episodes of Yojo Senki, or Saga of Tanya the Evil, from Winter's season. The visuals for this ED are very, very simple. In fact, they're kind of non-existent. But I gave this particular ED Best ED for the song itself, because I fucking love this song. I like the fact that they let Ayuki sing the song. I think she does a really good job. She also voices the main character of Tanya in Saga of Tanya the Evil. I also love the fact that the lyrics of the song alternate between German and Japanese.
Schnell.
Schnell. I'm sure there's no connection of that whatsoever to World War II. Lying, there absolutely is. And speaking of listening to stuff every single day, which is unhealthy, I know. There's ever since I got this song, or downloaded this song, there's probably not a day that goes by that I don't listen to it at least once.
You sick man.
It's a really good song, and I like it. And I think it kind of complements the actual show pretty well. But other than that, yeah, that's my best ED of the year. Yeah, there were EDs with better visuals, but fuck it, you don't watch the EDs or visuals, you watch it for the song. So I'll move on to Natai. What'd you pick for best ED?
So I'm actually gonna disagree with that last statement, because my pick is an ED that you totally watch for the visuals as well. Sidebar though, Tanya also had a solid OP with Jimmy Little.
Yes.
But anyway, my pick is
Royd.
my pick is Orion from March Comes In Like a Lion, was the second ED. And I think that song manages to like set a tone with whenever each episode would end, and you just were hit by this ED and all the feels that come with it. It's very different and unique, both with its aesthetic and the song itself. Very chill, kind of depressing in a sense, but also super colorful, and there's something about that ED that like really stuck with me, and I keep thinking about it. So yeah, that's my pick. It's a great.
You're right.
Go watch it.
The visuals of that ED are really good.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer the visuals of the first ED.
Sure,
Was
was
that the name of the song?
It was Fire by Bump of Chicken.
Fire.
Here's the thing. With that first ED and first OP, that was a hard act to follow. And I think Shaft managed to follow it up with both a second OP and second ED that were very solid as well. So.
Oh yeah, they're all four of them are good. I'm just saying visually, I preferred the first ED to the second ED, but they're both good. They're both top notch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Show.
Interesting.
What'd you pick for best ED?
Wait. Oh, you liked Orion? I mean, I personally like the third Sangatsu ED better than the second.
Third?
Like the one. Or no. Never mind. I'm confusing my EDs. They all look the same. Okay.
Wow. No, they don't. But sure, go ahead. What was your fucking ED of the year?
Oh, since you're so ecstatic to know, my ED was Attack on Titan Season 2's ED, which is all in Japanese, so whatever. The ED for the second season of Attack on Titan, which was basically just like...
Sing it for us.
I don't speak Japanese. That's why... Okay, listen, I had to sing the OP because it was in English. I speak English. Right? Like, we're so connected there. Okay, anyways. So, yeah. So the Attack on Titan ED... the visuals were basically just like carvings on a wall depicting something. Like, you don't really know what they're depicting like people eating people, titans eating something, whatever. But I really liked it because it was very tasteful foreshadowing to the manga. And like from an anime only perspective, you have no idea what the fuck is going on, but
Yep.
it's really ties in with the events of the manga, which will be animated in the third season. Woo. So it has great rewatchability, so that once you know the events in the third season, you come back to the second season, look at the ED, and be like, oh my god, I just watched that in the third season and I already knew about it. But anyways, I really like that aspect of that ED. And also the song was super creepy, and I loved it. I love creepy things. Yeah. So overall, it was a really great little doodah. Yeah, loved it.
I would like to add to that. You touched that, but yeah, I think like the song itself is super eerie and that it works pretty well because you have this contrast of listening to a song that is almost seem like it's sung by a choir of children, and then you watch like a bunch of titans eating people, and that contrast like is just super weird and super eerie. I think that's what makes that ET so good.
Yeah, it's super weird. And then they put some kind of layer on the voice, and it sounds so, like hazy. I don't know what they do. It's really, really strange. But I like it. It's good.
Good job, Wit Studio.
Good job.
All right. I'm still disappointed we didn't get to hear your lovely, lovely pipes sing this song.
You want me to?
No, I don't. I didn't want you to sing the first song.
I can hum it.
That's okay. Moving on. Our next award that we're giving out is Best Art Style of the Year. I am giving my Best Art Style award to Little Witch Academia. I love Trigger. I love just about everything that Trigger's done, except Kisniver, but the art was really good in that. And I mean, it's Little Witch Academia, so I kind of knew what it was going to be going in because I saw the specials beforehand. They did change the art style slightly for the show. I thought that the color palette that they used was a little brighter in the show than the specials, the OVA specials that they did. But overall, like the costume designs didn't change a whole lot. Some of the character designs changed a little bit. But the overall art style really didn't change that much, and it's Trigger. I mean, it looks like a Trigger show, and I love that art style. I can't really describe it any other way besides it's Trigger. That's it. I mean, and that's why I love it. Anytime that Trigger puts out something, I'm probably gonna love its art style. Like, even though I didn't love Kisniver from last year, I still love its art style, and I still recommend people watch it specifically to look at the art. But yeah, Little Witch Academia. It's cute. It's great. Go watch it now.
You Trigger whore.
Triggered. I love Trigger, man. Trigger is one of my favorite anime studios. Definitely in my top 3. Anyway, Natai, what'd you pick?
An unironic Konosuba too. Now here's the thing with Konosuba.
It's for that dance in the OP, isn't it?
It sure helped. Konosuba is just absolutely adored for sticking with picking a theme and just going all out with it, and that's like depicting the most dopiest of fantasy worlds and just absolutely nailing it. It's like whether it's just no one knows what's bras in this world, so sure, or it's like how dopey and derpy all the characters can get from time to time. Like that show, like the art style in that show just is so fun to watch. How it's just falling apart each episode. It's incredible. Absolutely love how the show looks. I never wanted to change. So yeah, Konosuba 2 for me.
Okay. I will say that I think that the art style in Konosuba, especially the second season, definitely like helps the comedy a little bit.
For sure.
Like the derpiness of like how the art is done really helps like sell the comedy in my opinion. All right, Sho, what did you choose for best art style?
I chose Children of the Whales, which is just so beautiful. Everything is like shaded in crayon, and it's like so quirky and unique and special. And also, well, I guess this is art style. So, listen, the people are hot in there, okay? But besides that, like the actual scenes are so beautiful, like the rolling sands. It kind of looks like I don't know, like it was animated on paint sometimes, but it
Like
works.
a watercolor?
No, like MS Paint.
Oh, I thought you meant like an actual painting.
Like they drew things on MS Paint and then they like put it together in like an animation reel, and it's kind of like lowbrow, but also like you know that kind of those art pieces where it's like 2 sticks together and then it's like high art. It's kind of like that,
modern art.
Exactly, modern art, and that is what Children of the Whales is. You should watch it because it's beautiful.
I see.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's all you got to say about the crayon piece.
I mean, what else is there to say?
Okay. Nothing. It's done for effect. It can be really good. That's all I'm saying.
What?
If it's done for an effect, it can be good. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, okay, I like more...
Also, it's called whale calf.
Whatever, Alex. That's the fan translation. Okay.
I think it's better than Children of Whales, honestly.
Honestly, I do kind of like whale calves better. Yes, it's always calves day.
Well,
Let me tell you, always
Wow.
calves day.
Wow. I mean, honestly, what do you call a child of a whale? A calf.
Oh, honey. Oh, you made me lose my train of thought. Okay. I really like experimental art styles. So, like, Kyoto animation would be, like, the polar opposite of experimental. It's, like, the highest quality basic stuff, you know? But then I kind of like when it's not, you know, the most, like, you don't pour the money into it, but it's a quirky and weird
You love some
style.
sketchy shit.
So I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like some sketchy shit.
I do like that as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You would
that's good.
love Shin-chan then. God, that art
Yeah.
is crap.
I'm surprised none of you nominated not Children of the Whales. March Comes In Like a Lion, because it's really nice art.
Yeah, the art
It
style
is.
is great. I just like Konosuba's better. Not because March has a bad art style. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, March is anything by Shaft is gonna look good.
No, not true. Monogatari does not look good art style wise. It looks really
yeah, it
bad.
does. I
It
will-
does
I
not.
will
It looks-
debate you on that
okay,
till the
the
end
movies
of
do
time.
not count. The movies do not count.
Oh, I'm not just talking about.
I
the
see a
Kizu
Monogatari in
movies.
that title. It sure does count.
Yeah,
Whatever. Move on.
yeah. Moving on. I will debate you on this later, and then I will strangle you. All right,
Let
moving
the
on. Our next,
spanking begin.
moving on. The next award is for best animation. My pick for this, and I'll bend over now and get ready to be his reamed for this. I'm giving my award for best animation to Kado, the right answer. Now, shut up.
Psych!
Hold
That's the
on.
wrong answer.
Hold on. So the reason I'm doing this is because Kado, if you haven't seen it, what it does really well is it blends 2D and 3D animation together. And it does this in a way that I really haven't seen done before, is to where it makes the transition seems very natural, whereas a lot of shows that have both 2D and 3D animation, the transition between the two is very unnatural. All you have to do is watch Berserk, the new Berserk, to see that, or you can watch any of the old Initial D anime to see how, like, absolutely just jerky and how just not really well done the transitions between the two are. But I think that Kato did it really well, and all the action, it doesn't have a lot of action in it, but the action that Kato does have is also animated really, really well. It's very solid, and it's pretty. It looks good throughout. It doesn't really seem like animation wise there was a dip in it throughout the run of the show, even if story wise it kind of takes a dip in the last few episodes. But yeah, that's my pick for best animation.
Actually, I don't think you've seen this, but the Eccentric Family blended 2D and 3D really well as well. So shout out to that.
Okay, I mean, I haven't seen that, so I can't say, but of the stuff that I have seen this year, I think that Kato did a really good job blending the two. Also, it's worth noting that the OP for Kato is completely 3D, so and it
It was
looks
a really
really
good
good.
OP. Yeah.
It's a really good OP. So Natai, what'd you pick for best animation?
Yeah. First off, shoutouts to Kato for sure for like doing CG right. It just good job. Like the I'll touch on it later, but yeah, Kato managed to show a level of restraint with its usage of 3D that's like very commendable. But anyway, my pick.
I'd also like to point out, before, just 1 second, that
Sure.
it's really hard going into this, watching Kato, it was really difficult for me to believe that it was done by Toei. That's how good the animation is.
That's very true.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, actually, I just like I have no clue with my pick for this one, but I think I'll give it to Kekai Sensen and Beyond. That show just knows how to put so many like visual gags and like tiny details like everywhere. Like the world of Hell's Salem Slot feels like it's real because there's so much level of detail put into it. It's incredible. And like aside from having a lot of like big Sakuga moments, which I mean it's Bones that so many that had so many opportunities for that is with KK Sensen and MHA season 2. Like they know how to deliver that. It just like I don't know. It just I think it's like it's my pick for just managing to like make the whole world feel real with its animation. So yeah, that's my pick.
All right then. Show. What'd you pick for best animation?
Well,
As if I have to ask.
obviously, is that yeah? You don't even have to ask. It's obviously Attack on Titan. I mean, Attack on Titan should have won every award, but you know we have to be fair to the other nominees. But yeah, okay, like spinning point of view, maneuver gear, camera shots. Can you beat that? No. And that's all I have to say. But no, like the choreography for the fights in Attack on Titan and how they animated it and like directed it and but like focus on the animation, it was so impressive and amazing, and it kept up with season 1 except for the CG Titan, but we don't talk about that.
It was okay. I don't think it was that of an issue.
No, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, like when Attack on Titan was hype, the animation was fucking hype. Like it was so good. And especially in the OP, that Sakuga in the OP was just like so good.
I changed my pen so many times whenever a new episode would come.
Yes,
that is
you
a little bit of information I didn't need.
You know it. Yeah.
That choreography at the end of the opening, it was like the end of the opening. It was really good. It was like it was fantastic.
Yes.
My
so
jaw
good.
dropped the first time I saw that.
Oh my god.
Are you done orgasming? Can I move on?
No, just give me a second. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. All right. So our next award that we're giving out is best cinematography. Myself and Show, I believe, are actually giving it to the same show, and that's going to be March Comes Like a Lion. Why did you give it out to March?
One word: Shaft. Done. Next.
Oh, I mean that's pretty much it. You're right. I mean it is Shaft. There's a reason that Shaft is my favorite anime studio, and March Comes Like a Lion and Owari Monogatari both prove why it is. Their cinematography is unparalleled. A lot of that you can chalk up to Akiyuki Shimbo. The man is a fucking genius when it comes to camera work and just like scene setting, and it's beautiful. I think also. Well, go ahead.
The only reason I did not fall asleep during this show is because the camera changes every second. And like, listen, I can't look at a shogi player. What the fuck is shogi? I don't know still. Be depressed and mope around and then hang out with 3 sluts all fucking day. Okay,
Fuck
that's
you.
fucking boring.
Exactly.
Okay. The camera angle changing and all the different shots really helped me stay awake, and that's why I give it to March Comes In Like a Lion.
Don't you dare call them sluts.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Akari
precious.
is an absolutely beautiful
No,
girl.
the sluttiest of them all is definitely Momo.
Fuck you.
Oh my god, you suck. Anyway, getting away from that stupidity, I also want to point out that there's a specific scene in the first season of March Comes Like a Lion that really like it's definitely what won this award for me, and that is a scene it's called Ray's Rant. And you guys know which one I'm talking about. It's after he beats oh god, who was it that he defeated? I can't remember now. It was in the Lion King tournament. Anyway, he defeats one of his opponents, and his opponent basically says that he wants to give up now because he's been beaten so many times. And Ray, feeling like that he's responsible for this person's belief that he needs to just give up, goes into like an empty field and just starts shouting at the ground. Like that scene, the way it's set up, is just absolutely perfect. And it just makes me feel for Ray so much because he's having like a nervous breakdown, and the way that the camera is changing angles constantly kind of reflects that. And I thought it was done so well. I think that scene alone is what wins March this award for me. Anyway, moving on. Natai, what did you choose for best cinematography?
Kind of the right answer.
Yes,
we touched on
that is the right answer.
It is. We touched on it earlier, but I think there's something about like directors moving from 2D animation to 3D. It seems like they kind of forget how to direct like they just forget what they learned from directing 2D animation. And like you mentioned Berserk, and like I don't want to just hate on it, but it's just a really good example of a director like taking the tools of 3D animation and just like doing it wrong, like spinning the camera all the time and put like just weird editing stuff. It's just like it's bizarre. So when Kato came along and was like, no, that's how you do it. It was super impressive to see, like the level of restraint and just like using CG well, and like even though it like kept jumping between the two styles, it never lost the consistency of like good cinematography and like well implemented one at that. So yeah, I think that's my pick.
All right, I definitely agree with you for sure. And it's definitely done well. Like I said before, 3D and 2D blended together in the right way. All right, let's move on. Next category is best character designs. I gave mine to Little Witch Academia for one reason and one reason only. It's fucking Trigger. I love Trigger's character designs. I love the way Trigger draws characters. That's it. It's Trigger. Natai.
KK Sensen and beyond. Every character in that cast is just it just whenever they come on screen they come alive, and like they all look incredible. All of them are just dope and cool, and just like Bebop back in the day took the rule of cool and pumped it up to 11. Now KK Sensen tries to do the same thing, and in my opinion manages to do it quite well. And yeah, each character just pops, has like its own unique look, and just yeah, it's good character design. That's all I gotta say.
It's definitely something to be said for that rule of cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Show, what'd you choose?
I gave it to Bukake Gurui. Yeah. Because I am a sub and I need a dom in my life, and this is what Kakegurui gave to me in the form of Jabami and her other classmates, and I very much appreciate it. Oh,
okay.
Yes.
It's definitely Bukake Gurui for sure.
Oh, yes.
Those eyes, though.
I don't think there's enough men in that school to make a Bukake Gurui, though.
Mm.
You only really need a couple. You just need some. You need a couple guys and just.
Oh, I forgot.
Good
there
timing.
are men in that school. They're all below the women's heels. I forgot. So it's sometimes hard to remember that they're there groveling on the floor, but I see. Yes.
Or just being furniture.
Oh, it's true. They are furniture sometimes.
I'm glad you remember that.
Thank you for that beautiful memory.
All right, moving on. You should watch Kakegurui. It's pretty good. Natai, that was specifically for you.
Nah, I'm good. I watched the OP. That was dope. I'm good.
Oh my god, but the ED though. She's
okay,
like.
I'll give it a look. It's only like a minute and a half.
Okay, it's not what you expect. It's not good. It's just sexy. But it's sexy. Yes.
All right, moving on. All right, our next category is best female character of the year. Now,
I'll bully
Ew.
you.
Why did you do that, Alex?
As you can tell by Show's reaction, he does not approve of my choice. Okay.
Me neither.
So, shut up! I have a reason. Let me get to it. Alright, so I have chosen... Hold on. I have chosen Satania from Gabriel Dropout. Hold on.
End the podcast now. It's over.
No, listen. Okay, so... Yes, there were some great female characters this year. There was Hitagi in Owari Monogatari. There was Tanya in Saga of Tanya the Evil. Shut up.
Kari.
Cucklord in Kukumonogatari.
Shut up. She was really great in Owari Monogatari Season 2. You had basically all the girls in Blend S were really great.
All the girls in March Comes In Like a Lion as well.
All the girls in March Comes In Like a Lion are great. You also had Kino, who's a fantastic female character. I just, for some reason, and I know why, Satania just really sticks out to me because she is the epitome of a Chunibyo character. And I love Chunibyo characters. Like, I fucking love Rika and love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. And Satania reminds me of Rika in many, many ways. And let's not forget that Satania was the source of many, many anime memes from 2017.
Is that a compliment,
Also, some
though?
of the Huh?
Is that a compliment though?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
She also gave me personally some of the best
Facials.
facials. I wish facial reaction pics that I can use to just troll people with. And I really liked her character. And please no bully. Please
I'll
no
think
bully.
about it.
The cringe.
Shut up, I love Satanya. Anyway, go ahead, Natai. Please don't bully.
I'll try. So, my pick is Konatsu from Showa Genroku Rakuga Shinju Season 2. Now, here's the thing
Say
with
that
Konatsu.
5 times fast.
Dat
What?
MILF?
Fuck you. Here's the thing. Back in Season 1, we were introduced to Konatsu, and she's like, oh, that's a layered character. She's pretty cool. I wonder what's gonna happen to her next. Then we didn't see her for Season 1. Like, we didn't see her for the rest of the season. Season 2, though, we got to see so many great moments between her and the rest of the cast, whether it's like with Yotaro or Yakumo or like everyone. It's so good, and her development as a character throughout the season, and to see how like her passion for Rakugo pays off in so many ways. It was such a heartfelt story to me. Like I won't forget that one Jugimu scene where she does Jugimu for the rest of like for the children, and they're so excited for her, and she's like, because you know in the story of Rakugo Shinju, women aren't supposed to perform that type of art. But she's in front of children, so it's okay. They don't know about it. They don't mind. And when she walks off stage, and the camera is like doesn't show her face, so like she like you're trying to say like how she feels about it. Then she goes to talk to Yotaro, and he encourages her. Then she gives that smile, and it's like it sells everything. Konatsu is an incredible character, and my God, is she manages to like give me the feels every time I think about that show. So yeah, Konatsu, what a terrific character.
She is pretty great, and I hate to break this to you, Natai, she is kind of a MILF.
Fuck you.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Anyway, moving on to absolute garbage. I mean show.
I don't know if you're talking about me or my pick. I hope you're not
Why
about
not both?
me. No, not both. Rude. Pick your poison. Okay, I've chosen Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on
I'm stuck with
Titan.
you. I don't want to make you poisonous.
Oh my god. Which is the best show and franchise and manga in the world. No, I'm joking, but it is. But yeah, Mikasa is an amazing character, and I love her. Well, she only got really one good scene in the second season, but
look.
actually it's not that look that I'm talking about. But that is a really, I did like that look.
That was a really good look.
Yeah, but oh my god, wait, are you talking about the look she gave
At the end of the show.
Oh, at the end?
Like in the like one of the final episode when they're chasing that Titan, and she's like looking through his fingers, and
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That one was so fucking extra. Oh my god, Studio Wit, like, calm
so
down.
many lines of,
oh
of
my
pencil on
god.
that.
Oh my god. But like, she was a fucking yandere. She had so many yandere looks in that season though. I love the look. It was like subtle but still fucking savage when she was looking back.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, was looking back at looking back at Eren when he's like talking to Reiner and Bertolt, and she's like,
yeah,
and she's like, hand on her knives, let me cut you, just say the word. Anyways, but those were all very good facial expressions. But the scene I was talking about was okay, I'm not gonna go into details, but it was near the end when she's crying and she's thanking Eren.
Oh yeah.
And fuck you. That's a good scene. Okay,
no,
so
it was a good scene. I just
okay.
of something else.
Oh, okay. You know what? Whatever. Anyways, I really liked that scene because everybody is faced with a situation where they know they're going to die. Like there's 0 chances of survival. Like usually there's like 1% or 2%, but this time 0%. Everybody's gonna die, and everybody's freaking out. Everybody's crying. Everybody's dying. But Mikasa is like, fuck this. Let me confess to my man, and then I can die peacefully. And you know what? I appreciate that resolve, and I really like that scene.
I appreciate that scene as well, but my god, did she get cucked in that scene?
No, I don't think she got cucked.
No, but the way
no.
presented.
Like, okay, like, you can say she got cucked, but to me, I interpret that as Aaron being like, don't confess to me, because if you confess to me, you are saying that you admit that you're about to die, and I don't admit that, and I'm gonna fight till I die, which I really like that
Sure.
as well.
Again, I liked it, but like in retrospect, it was kind of funny in that way. But it was a really good scene. I do love it.
Oh, I didn't think it was funny. But anyways, I don't really need a confession because I know, they all know they love each other, except Aaron is a fucking idiot. But he knows. He knows. He doesn't need the confession. He knows. Okay, anyways. But yeah, Mikasa is bae. And she cuts bitches. And what else do you need from a woman? Okay, done.
Oh, are we done? I completely zoned out there for a minute. Moving on then. So our next category is best male character. Me and Natai have the same character for this.
Yep.
Rei Kiriyama from March Cause I'm Like a Lion. Tell him why, Natai. Because I know you think the exact same thing I do.
It's like there's so many reasons. I mean, on a superficial level, he's just, as you say, it's a cinnamon roll, and you just want to give him a good hug. But
he is. Oh, such a cinnamon roll.
Rei, like for me, on a personal level, I think Rei was like a good. Like I think March Comes in Like a Lion as a whole, man, like taught me, and I know, and I talked to other friends of mine who also watch, and I was like, it gave a lot of people a better understanding of depression and what it's like to face it. And
Yeah.
I think Rei is like an incredible character. His writing is superb, and it's like it was a good vehicle to like try and get a better understanding of that subject, like at least to some extent, because depression is like a heavy subject matter, and I think Shaft managed to handle it in a tasteful way, and like very, very well. And Rei is like one of the biggest reasons the show works, because you want to watch him grow and be better and overcome this state he's in. So yeah, Rei's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out that we don't actually have a category for voice actor and voice actress. But if we did, I'd definitely give it to Rei's voice actor because he does a superb job as Rei. I also like to point out that I've watched a few episodes of the first season that have been dubbed. And the guy who does his voice in English is, of the couple of episodes that I've watched so far, has been phenomenal as well. So that's
good.
Really, it's great that they actually paid attention and like did good stuff with the dub. I haven't gone past the third episode yet, so I can't say if it gets any worse or better. But so far so good on the English dub. Kudos to Funimation for that. Yeah, Rei is just... I've said this before, and you and I have actually talked about getting together sometime when the second season is over with and doing an entire podcast on March Comes Like a Lion, and we probably will do that sometime, ironically, in March. I mean, that's when it ends. It's not my fault. And I'll talk more about this when we actually do that podcast, but there's a lot that I see in Rei that reminds me of myself, especially when I was in high school. And it makes watching the show very emotional for me. But yeah, we'll get into that more when we actually do our episode on March Like a Lion. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. And other than that, he's also really cute. Anyway, show. Who'd you pick for your best male character?
Well, speaking of cute boys, Kaz Khan from Neo Yokio, which is technically not an anime, but fuck you, it is. Yeah.
Netflix original.
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. It's a Toblerone anime. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure most people know it by that. Yeah, I really like him because he's just a stuck-up, rich, douchebag, bitch. Like,
he's basically how you would be if you actually had $1 million.
Rude. Like, he just steps on people and then laughs it off. He's like goals. Like goals. No, but like, I love those characters. They're so fucking... I don't know. As a bitch, I relate to other bitches. And also, he's fabulous. Like, he wears Gucci. He drives ghosts. He pulls up in spiders. He fucking... Okay, anyways. I'm not gonna... Okay, but... Yes. Also, Jaden Smith is fucking... I don't even know what to say. He's something.
He's a thing that exists in this world.
And I'm into it.
Oh god.
And yeah.
Sure.
Also,
Okay,
like,
then.
okay, like, it's not my fault. There's not a lot of good male characters this year, in my opinion. Like,
So not true.
I mean, I'm not gonna comment on Ray, but I don't really see any standout male characters from what I've seen.
Kazuma, Rainier, you got more. Let's
But
see.
like, there's
Koyomi.
such. Oh, okay. Actually, I can see Rainier.
He's a good character, I think.
But I hate him.
Yeah,
So-
but it's like you hate him because
I can
like he's
see-
written well.
I can. Yeah. I can see that. Okay, I'll give that to you. Rainer's pretty good choice. Yeah. Good job, Nitai. Okay, we can move
Thank you.
on.
Anyway, yes, moving on. So our next to last category that we have before Anime of the Year is going to be for Best Writing and or Story. Again, myself and Natai actually wrote down the same show for this, and that is... Go ahead and say the title, because I can't
Show
say
again,
it.
Roku Rakugo Shinju Season 2.
There you go. Say it 5 times fast. I
I'll
dare you.
never get tired of saying that full name.
Anyway, yeah. I can't speak for Natai, but for me, I thought the writing in the second season was a little bit better than it was in the first.
Which
Especially when it
says
came,
a lot.
Well, it does say a lot, especially when it comes to dialogue. And I'm not just talking about the Rakugo performances. I'm talking about the dialogue between the characters in between the Rakugo performances. I thought they were much more powerful. I thought they were really well written, especially the scenes between Konatsu and the old man. I really loved watching those scenes. And I won't give it away for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but there's a couple of twists toward the end that are really well executed. They're really well done. And yeah, that's why I gave it to Rakugo. Why'd you give it?
Yeah, I'd agree with you that it's even, it was super surprising to me that the second season's writing was even better than the first one. That says a lot, because season 1 had some incredible writing, and the character interaction was solid. All of the characters were super fun to watch, and like it was just so engaging to see the story unfold. And it's like, I won't say much because we'll talk about it probably even later, but yeah, it just like, it was so fulfilling seeing this story come to a close, and now we have this like solid 25 episode show it's a complete story. It's incredible. The writing is amazing, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's me gushing.
And it's
over
gotten
Rakugo.
people like myself interested in actually watching Rakugo performances.
Yep.
And I have. You can find a lot of them online on YouTube. There's a lot of professional Rakugo performers that put their stuff out on YouTube that you can find, and I highly recommend you go watch it because some of it has actually been translated.
There's some good stuff out there.
Anyway, Sho, what'd you pick for best writing?
I picked Iron-Blooded Orphan season 2 or whatever. It's categorized as season 2, but it's like basically the ending of the full franchise. I'm assuming you guys haven't seen it.
I have not.
Okay, well you should. But
Yeah, I'm planning on.
wow.
Wow.
Rude.
At least I will consider watching it.
Yeah, Jesus, Nitai.
I've said I'm planning on watching it.
Okay, so then the answer is yes, not no. Okay, yeah. So I nominated it because there's a lot of suffering, and I really like suffering, and I like stories that incorporate suffering. Have I mentioned I like suffering? Yes, I have, because I do.
Scum's Wish Calling.
Yes. But I nominated IBO instead of Scum's Wish because not only does it have suffering, but I think
Gotta show this.
No, I think I think it really tells a meaningful message about child soldiers and also just war in general, and it's almost a deconstruction of like the overuse of young characters in action anime, and I just found it refreshing and interesting and insightful. And I don't want to get into too much specifics because I feel like not a lot of people have seen it and you guys haven't seen it. But there's a lot of plot twists, a lot of emotions. The writing is by, I think, Mari Okada, who did Anohana and other, she has another.
Speaking of suffering.
Yeah, and other like stuff. And she did it's really interesting to have like a super dramatic, heavy writer on a Gundam series, which is like more about politics. So,
That's
but I
true.
think they meshed really it was a bit jarring at times, but it was a very interesting mesh, and I really liked what came from that collaboration. So, yeah, I really liked that show because it had some really powerful messages. Yeah.
Nice.
There is still politics in it, though, right?
Not that. Well, yeah, kind of.
Because it wouldn't be a Gundam show without politics.
Kind of like the first season ended with a political climax, but I guess there was another whatever. There was politics in the background, but that wasn't the main thing.
Okay. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
Gundam show, so.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, we'll move on to
The big
the
one.
Anime of the Year award. I guess I'll go ahead and give mine. We actually all three gave different answers for a change. So the first, me first, I gave my Anime of the Year to March Comes Like a Lion. I had 3 other shows that I actually was thinking about for this specific award. I thought about Owari Monogatari Season 2, which was phenomenal, and I thought it was a great wrap-up to the series, although not quite yet. I also thought about LWA because it's fucking Trigger, and I absolutely loved it. But I went with March Comes Like a Lion because of all the shows that I've watched this year. I don't think any show, this year for sure, but I don't think any show recently has made me definitely tear up as much as I have while watching March Comes Like a Lion, especially the first season. As I said before, there's a lot of my younger self that I see in Ray. And it's every single episode for me is very emotional. And it's rare, especially recently, that I've gotten to experience that while watching anime. So for me personally, it's very fulfilling. It's very, it's what I'm looking for right now, and it definitely delivers on that. Other than that, I mean, it's Shaft, as we mentioned before. The cinematography, the animation is great. The character designs are definitely memorable, and the soundtrack is phenomenal. I mean, what else do you need? It's Anime of the Year to me.
Fantastic first opening as well.
Absolutely. And also, for reference, the very first episode, which aired originally in 2016, was definitely one of the most powerful opening episodes of a drama series that I've ever watched. Anyway, Natai, what do you end up choosing?
Yeah, I'll say that full name again, because again, I will never get tired of it. Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2 is the best anime of 2017 for me. Nothing this year has came close to being, in my opinion, as good as this second season. Nothing in terms of writing, in terms of like direction and storytelling and like character building. It's so good at like portraying characters that feel like real people, and I appreciate that. I really love that about it. And the music is fantastic. It's like this old jazz. It's just it oozes with style. I love it. This show just manages to like with each new episode, it manages to like blow me away with how well it does what it sets out to do, which is to tell a story about all of these people who are passionate about about their work, about this art that at least like in the story it's dying, and how they're trying to preserve it and try and maybe make it something new and take it with them to the future. It's heartfelt, it's funny. Like, my God, I laughed so many times because of this show. It's just, it's the best thing to come out this year, in my opinion. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's my pick. Also, more people should watch it.
Yeah, I don't think enough people have watched it. That's definitely true. All right, Sho, what'd you pick?
I picked Iron-Blooded Orphans because I'm biased towards war stories. I really don't get enough, and I need more. And I'm kind of on a trip, a binge, a phase, and I need to see people killing each other, and that's what I got from Iron-Blooded Orphans. But besides that, it was like it scratched the itch that Code Geass had left for like years, and I'm like, finally, it's very different from Code Geass, but I got the same sort of. I got a similar vibe. Because like it's made by the same producers, so obviously it has some like similarities. But yeah, and I really appreciate it for that. And I definitely want more war stories. So, Kogia season 3, let's go. Let's go.
All right, well that's it. That's our those are our awards that we have for this year. I don't know if any of those things surprise any of you or not, but anyway, we'll move on. I do want to do one last thing before we actually end this episode, and that is to take one last look back at 2017, the year that was, and I'm going to ask the same question that I've asked the 3 times we've done this episode. Looking at 2017 as a whole, would each of you say that 2017 was a good, bad, or meh year for anime? Nitsai?
I think overall it was a good year, even if sometimes it felt like there wasn't a whole lot of like incredible shows coming out each and every season. There was always something unique to watch and try to get into. Unfortunately, in terms of the industry side, I would say it was a pretty rough year, with all the stories about like the Kimono Friend story and those kind of things. It's kind of a shame, but
Finding out that the creator of Rurouni Kenshin's a pedophile.
yeah, that kind of stuff is like it's disappointing. It sucks, but when it comes to the content that we consumed this year, I think overall it was a good year. Maybe not incredible, but it was a pretty good year.
All right, Sho, what do you think?
I think it's a mediocre year. Without Attack on Titan, Iron Blooded Orphans, it would have been a bad year. Just saying.
Actually, well, not for the reasons that you said, but I definitely agree with your reasoning that it was kind of a meh year overall. I think you definitely had some standouts, as we've mentioned throughout this podcast. But I think overall, like, you definitely want there to be more than 1 or 2 episodes or 1 or 2 shows per season that are standouts. And I think for at least 2 to 3 seasons this year, we didn't have that. And to me, that kind of signals that it was kind of a mediocre year for anime. I definitely think that there were definitely signs of some hope. But like Nitsai said, there were that whole Kimono Friends fiasco that was definitely a big mark, like a big blemish on the industry. I definitely think the industry itself took kind of a beating this year in terms of like how it's perceived, because you have so many stories that came out this year about how badly animators are treated at different studios. But I think just overall it was just a very mediocre meh year for anime. But, and then one last thing before I definitely end it. I want to look forward to 2018 for just a moment. Specifically 2 pieces of news that have come out within the last week for stuff that's coming out in 2018. First of all, Netflix has allegedly confirmed that Violet Evergarden will be airing week to week all across the world.
Good job,
not
Netflix.
just in Japan. And I say allegedly because I went on there and apparently a bunch of other people have too. I don't think there's been an official announcement from Netflix yet, but I and several other people in the United States and in the West, outside of Japan that is, have gone on to Netflix and have seen that the like placeholder for Violet Evergarden, where the shows will eventually be put on Netflix, has a thing that says first episode airs 11th of January. So it seems like they're going to go with a simulcast. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it won't be like 1 hour after airing like it is with like Crunchyroll and stuff, but it'll definitely be pretty soon after it airs in Japan. So that I'm completely excited about that if Netflix actually goes through with that. Second is a couple days ago it was confirmed by Shaft they will be doing Zoku Owari Monogatari anime sometime in 2018. They haven't announced exactly when, but that is definitely coming, and I, for one, could not be happier because I fucking love Monogatari series. Other than that, was there any other news that you guys want to talk? I'll ask this. Of the stuff that's been announced so far for 2018, what are you two personally looking forward to the most? Nitsai?
Violet Evergarden is the given. I'm really, really like stoked to see how that show turns out. But I think I'm mostly excited to see like how the big shows like MAJ and Attack on Titan are gonna handle doing this sort of yearly season type of broadcasting. So I'm excited to see how that will pan out. So yeah.
What about you, Sho?
Well, I've already said mine. Kogia season 3. Let's go.
Hasn't been announced when it's going to be airing, but it is sometime in 2018.
Mostly because I have no idea what they're gonna do, and I'm very curious to find out. I'm also looking forward to Attack on Titan and Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but I already know the plot line that it's going to cover, so I'm not like there's not much of a mystery, whereas Code Geass is a mystery. And
it is a complete mystery.
Yes.
Well, as I've said, obviously, Violet Evergarden and Soku Owari Monogatari, I'm hugely looking forward to. One other thing in particular I'm definitely looking forward to next year is the third season of Index, which that hasn't been announced when it's going to be airing yet. It's definitely not going to be in the winter. But if it's going to be the spring, I think we can officially say now that spring 2018 is going to be one of the most packed anime seasons ever.
Yeah, because, we'll get JoJo Part 5 in spring 2018.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not.
We will.
No, because David Production is animating Captain Tsubasa.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. JoJo Part 5 is not happening in 2018. Just calling it now. Anyway, other than that, it's been a hell of a year doing this. I personally want to thank everyone who has listened to this podcast over the last 2 years. This is the third time that we've actually just more than 2 years now. This is the third time we've done this yearly wrap up, and they, for whatever reason, tend to be our most listened to episodes. So yeah, thank you for tuning in and listening to us every single episode that we do. We've got some stuff, as I've mentioned, that we're in the works for next year that we're working on. Perhaps a little more streaming some of the content in the future. We're definitely going to try and do some of that. Other than that, one thing that is starting soon, we're recording this on the 29th, our fall division of our Best Boy and Best Girl contest, round 1 is going to start on December 31st. So by the time this goes up, that should be out and ready to go. So definitely go vote on that if you so choose. We've got some interesting characters lined up for that. Other than that, what else is there to say about 2017?
Memes are good. Else. Keep going.
Yes. All right. I'll go ahead and end it then. As I said, thank you all out there for dropping in to listen to us each and every time you do, because we sure appreciate it, because we enjoy bringing it to you every single time. If you want to check out previous episodes of the podcast, you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. If you want to keep up with what we're doing and have a little more fun, you can join our Facebook group, follow our Twitch channel, or visit our website. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, criticism, concerns on this or any episode, feel free to choose an email. Links to all these things will be down below in the description. As always, I have been your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and I will see you next time. Say Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year!
Woohoo! Woo! Woo! Celebrate good times. Come on. No, I'm done. I was no better than you fucking singing earlier. Shut up. All right,
Kaiki Best Boy.
Kaiki.
Bum 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 bum.